Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to speak about, first of all, before I will take a question, and I will be glad to answer any of them, about the Arab Spring and the Knesset winter seat, what's going between them. And to pose two major questions. One, will we ever see peace? And the other is, what are the implications of the Arab Revolution on Israeli politics? Well, that goes with other questions like what will happen in the Middle East, how many countries will become democracy, who will survive, who will fall. All those questions remind me the story of a little boy asked his father, "Father, can you tell me why is the sun rising in the east?" And his father told him, "I really don't know." Then he came and asked him, "Father, can you tell me why is the moon becoming thinner and then grows back?" And his father told him, "Truly, I really don't know." And then he asked his father another question, "Father, why in the desert there's so much sand?" He said, "So help me God, I really don't know." And the boy told him, "Father, is it bother you that I'm asking you too much question?" And the father said, "Well, not at all. If you will not ask, how will you learn anything?" So this story is also our situation. As a friend of mine, an expert on intelligence, said, everyone has the right answer about what will happen in the Middle East. It's like in the lottery. Every number is a winner because we really don't know anything, what will happen. Saying that, I would like to point out three problems that we have regarding this Arab Spring Revolution, three dangerous gaps that we have, that we're having and facing those in these days. The first gap is, I'm a television guy, I'm a reporter, but there is a difference between reality and reality shows. And I think sometimes it's the opposite. And I think it's the same go with the peace and the peace process. There's a difference, and sometimes it's the opposite. Regarding the peace, I don't think there is a real chance to get a real peace soon. There is a higher chance for a process, but it's still far away. And that is because of the second gap. The gap is the perception by Israelis and Palestinians about situation. For example, we see different things. We build fence, Palestinians see wall. We speak about peace, they see settlements. They talk about freedom, we can see the AK-47 of Hamas rising from the ballots. There is no love between us, and we are finished with the romantic view of peace. The real question is, after our marriage failed, can we at least carry out our divorce properly? And the answer to that is I really don't know, because like in marriage, also for divorce, you need the right partner. And the feeling is right now on both sides that we have the wrong partner. The Palestinians think they have the wrong partner on the side of Israel with the right-wing government of Benjamin Netanyahu, and the Israelis feel that they have the wrong partner with Abu Mazen and Fayyad, especially with Abu Mazen, that is trying to gain points for himself by going to the UN and not really to have his neck on the table with the real peace process. The conflict between Israelis and Palestinians that started 120 years ago, and you know everything about it. There was the marriage time of Oslo Agreement, and then there was 2000, the Barak, Camp David, where we started what I called the divorce here, trying to separate ourselves from the Palestinian. And the question that we ask ourselves is, what has changed? I think that mainly what has changed is public opinion. Things on the ground really didn't change much, and not the basic truth, but public opinion changed. Pose the question to Israeli and Palestinians, do you want peace with your neighbor based on two-state solution? Most of them will say yes. But on the ground, Hamas rules. The Palestinian people chose Hamas which is a terror organization, as their government. Gaza, in a way, is part of the equation. Now we're speaking only about the West Bank. And if you pose the question again to Israelis and Palestinians, do you think you will get peace? You will get a straight answer, no. This is, I think, the main gap between peace and peace process. The Palestinian-Israeli oxymoron is that Israelis think they have no serious partner for peace because the Palestinians lack the capability, even if they have the intention, even. And the Palestinians think the Israeli lack the intention, even if they have the capability. And all of it says that there is no mutual trust. And that has been ruined to the ground. After years of trying to build confidence between both people, now it's zero, zillet, nothing. Everything that one side said I will do, the other side say, show me the money. I want to show action, not words. I think that Land for Peace is not really the issue anymore. It is not the stumbling block for peace. The true Israeli anxiety is focused not only on the territory of the Palestinian state, but on the nature of that state. And I'm speaking about the Israeli consensus. The true Israeli position is not to agree to a state for the Palestinian unless they are sure how that state will function and how it will be governed and how viable it will be, not simply only by its territorial contiguity, but in its stability as a long-term partner for peace. If there is an option of a Palestinian state, and we don't know that in 2 years' time Hamas will get hold of the Palestinian states, most Israelis will say no to any peace deal. If we will know that there is guarantees that it will not happen, then we can think about it. So it is true, if you will give a map to Israelis and Palestinians, they will draw almost the same map. And the analogy, again, we know how to separate our joint apartment, but can we really do that? The answer right now is blowing in the wind. Now the third gap that I pointed out as a dangerous gap is between Israel and the United States government. Now I know that I'm walking here on fragile ground, but I would say things that as I see them. Most Israelis see the President of the United States, which always been perceived in Israel as the biggest friend of Israel. You know, if there were ballots here for Bill Clinton or even for George W. Bush, they would take the Knesset by 80 seats. This President Barack Obama, is being perceived by most Israelis as a romantic, naive, sometimes even dangerous. And when he sees an Arab Spring, Israelis sees a security winter. And when he speaks about election for democracy, most Israelis, and especially the government of Israel, see the scenario of Tehran and the mullahs in 1979. When he's speaking of a wind of change, of an earthquake in the Middle East, he sees a chance for peace. Most Israelis and all of the government of Israel sees that as a dangerous point where the best thing is not to move, not to do anything, but to watch and to see what will happen. This is, I think, something which is a very serious gap that influences the situation of Israel. And I want to add to that even more dangerous and sensitive issue. No matter who to blame, and I think that there is a lot of people here that will have different opinion on that, Israel became, in the last few years, a political issue in the United States between Democrat and Republican. I think this is bad for Israel. I think it's bad for Israeli national security. Israel was always been perceived as a bipartisan issue of consensus, and I don't know who to blame, if that is the president, if the prime minister, is the fact that they don't have chemistry between them, but the fact that it happened points out that there is a problem for Israel in Washington. There's also gaps of perception of Iran. The United States sees that as a problem. Israel sees that as a major problem. So for the first answer, will we ever see peace? The answer is maybe, but not today. And I think that we are it will take few years' time for the Middle East to be stable enough that we can move a real peace process, real peace, but it's Israel interest to have a peace process, because we're losing ground and we're losing points by being portrayed by Palestinians as someone who are against peace. And last sentence that I have is about the politics. There's another gap, or maybe an oxymoron issue. Right-wing leaders here in Israel are speaking in the deep left rhetorics. When Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, even if he done nothing on the ground, is speaking about two-state solution, this is the slogan of Hadash. This is the slogan of the deep left in Israel. And there's something strange about it. Israelis move to the right, the leaders to the left, and the fact that there is an earthquake in the Arab world, I think will shape Israeli politics. In the short term, I think Netanyahu coalition is stronger. If there will be riots on the borders, it will get even more points. If there will be quiet time and good economy, I think this is the only chance that there will be a political change. And I'm ready to take your question whenever it's possible. Thank you.